Greetings and salutations. Welcome to LoveCast 98, or as St. Jameson Day. As I was going over the far from Carrot Mountain, I sat with Captain Farrell and his money he was counting. First produced my pistol, then produced my rapier, saying, "Stand and deliver, for I am a bold deceiver, mushroom diddle-diddle-I. Whack for my daddy-o, whack for my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar." I counted down his money, and it made a pretty penny. Put it in my pocket, and I took it home to Jenny. She sighed and swore she never would deceive me. But the devil take the women, for they never can be easy. Mushroom diddle-diddle-I. Whack for my daddy-o, whack for my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. To my chamber, all for to take a slumber. I dreamt of gold and jewels, for and sure it was no wonder. Jenny drew my charges and she filled them all with water. Sent for Captain Farrell to be ready for the slaughter. Mushroom diddle-diddle-I. Whack for my daddy-o, whack for my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Twas early in the morning, just before I rose to travel. Up comes my road footman and likewise Captain Farrell. I first produced my rope, pushed away my rapier, and I couldn't shoot the water, so a prisoner I was taken. Right on diddle-diddle-I. Whack for daddy-o, whack for daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Now some delight, now some take delight in the carriages a-rolling, and others take delight in the hurling and the bowling. But I take delight in the juice of the barley, courting pretty maidens in the morning, bright and early. Mushroom diddle-diddle-I. Whack for my daddy-o, whack for my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. If anyone can aid me, it's my brother in the army. He's fled a station in Cork or in Kilcarney. He'll go with me roving in Kilkenny. Not sure he'll treat me better than my poor old sporting Jenny. Mushroom diddle-diddle-I. Whack for my daddy-o, whack for my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Mushroom diddle-diddle-I. Whack for my daddy-o, whack for my daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar. Oh, hey, yeah. Happy St. Patrick's Day! One and all. Christina's got corned beef and cabbage going in the pot, drinking Harpin Jameson. She's saying in the chat, I'm going to fry up some potatoes when the show is over. Oh, there's always indeed. Damn, am I... Oh, how clever. Yes, there is whiskey in this jar. This evening's show is proudly sponsored by Tullamore Dew. It isn't really, they just gave me this t-shirt. I think I was actually given this t-shirt when playing on St. Patrick's Day some number of years ago at St. Patrick only remembers what actual venue. Let's scroll through, see who's here. I see Ned and Benny. Cheers. Zachary White, how you doing, man? Paul Carganilla and Kathy B. My mom, Pam, is here. Hello. Yes, Faruko is losing his mind. Anna, hello. Hello, Anna. Ed and Susie Marsh are here. All right. Hello, Katie. Hi. Rest of my bandmates are playing around the corner for you tonight. Karita's doing a set at the Marine Room. And, yeah, I'm like worried about their equipment. And COVID and all the other things. So, that was an Irish folk song, Whiskey in the Jar. Some people listening may know it from Metallica doing a cover of it, which, you know, I don't think the Metallica is like crucifyingly embarrassing or anything. It's just kind of, you know, it's Metallica. What are you going to say? Sit down with acoustic instruments, guys, and like reel it in, try to make this sound authentic? No, it's like make this sound like Metallica is covering an Irish folk song. Cool. That's what they delivered. Or the world famous Bootstrappers, who I would expect to make it sound like a classic acoustic based Irish folk song. And they did. Hell yeah. Yeah, Faruko is. Yeah, this is one like this is one Faruko sang, right? Right. I don't think you were like sitting back on the sidelines for this. I don't believe so. I don't actually remember. See, a lot of these Irish folk songs that I'm going to play tonight go back so near and dear to my heart and soul that a lot of these I don't remember like the first time that I ever heard them, kind of analogously to the way you probably don't remember the first reference that you ever heard to Shakespeare or Dr. Seuss. They were just they just always existed. And a couple of the songs I'm going to play tonight, I do remember or can ascertain specific first times that I've heard them. But I'm curious as I scroll through stuff tonight, if you can remember the first time you heard whatever song you were hearing right now, put that in the chat. So, we'll start off with Whiskey in the Jar. If you can remember the first time you heard that, drop it in the chat. In terms of just sheer likelihood, I was probably in college, and I'm sure you will all be very shocked to hear that I worked a lot of Ren fairs all through college, and I got really into armor smithing. I was in the SCA in college, and the SCA is, never mind even what that means. As I understand, in the Midwest, it means a totally different thing than it ever did in California. But anyway, when I was an armor smith and separately but relevant into Ren fairs in college, got exposed to a lot of Irish folk songs. All right. Zach White, you are very welcome, sir. So yeah, I probably either heard it there or also when I was in college, I hung out a lot at this Irish bar in Soulard. Soulard is, for those of you not familiar with St. Louis, probably most of the people watching, Soulard is a blues district. I'm not kidding. St. Louis has a blues neighborhood. And when I lived there, and even more prominently than before I was a kid living in that area, there were a lot of blues bars. But there's one Irish bar. Saddle in amongst the blues bars, and damn if I didn't eat a lot of lamb stew and listen to literally every touring Irish group who ever came through the Midwest. They would all play at McGurk's. Damn, I love that place. So that's probably where I first heard Whiskey in the Jar. I probably literally heard it live at McGurk's at a Ren Fair or maybe at an SCA event. And all right, this is a song I don't often repeat, but didn't occur to me until after I played this last week. This is an Irish folk song called The Foggy Dew. I couldn't not play on St. Patrick's Day. 'Twas down the glen one Easter morn, to city fair rode I, where on lines of marching men in squadrons passed me by. No pipe did hum, no battle drum did sound its loud tattoo, but the angelus bells over Liffey's swell rang out in the foggy dew. Oh, 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 right proudly high over Dublin town, on the outer flag of war. 'Twas better to die neath an Irish sky than it's of love's sudden bar. From the plains of royal Meath, strong men came hurrying through, while Britannia's Huns with their long-range guns ringing through the foggy dew. Oh, 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 oh. The bravest bell and the requiem bell ring mournfully and clear. Oh, those who died that Easter tide, the springing of the year, while the world did gaze with deep amaze, those fearless men with few who bore the fire that freedom's light might shine through foggy dew. Oh, 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 on back through the glen I rode again, and my heart with grief was sore, for I parted then with valiant men whom I never shall see more. but to and fro in my dreams I'll go, night kneel and pray for you. For slavery fled, oh glorious dead, when you fell in the foggy dew. All right. The 24th of April, 1916. That was when that was the date that song commemorates. The author of the song wants you to remember that. So I will repeat that every time I play it. That was literally why he wrote that song, so that people in the future would remember what happened that day in 1916. Hello, Amanda Benjamin. I want to say happy 1-year anniversary. I should say happy first birthday. I think I'll phrase it that way instead. Amanda had a great 50-second show last night. So, so maybe that will wrap around to next week when, your actual birthday should be, because isn't your birthday celebrated on the on like the start of the next year as opposed to the completion of the first? That's it. Kathy B was saying, Pam Ackerman, fun facts. Did you know that the red hair is not native to Ireland? Red-headed Irishmen did not come about until after the Vikings invaded. Kathy B, I'll do you one earlier than that in terms of anthropology. It also is probably not the case that any humans were red-headed at all until they went to the colder parts of Europe and started interbreeding with Neanderthals. Don't tell your grandmother that one. Won't she just faint? Pretty strong evidence to back up, genetically speaking, that the red hair gene literally came from crossbreeding with the Neanderthal genome. Yeah, it's the kitchen window. Okay. All right. So the next song, why not? You wouldn't call this like a traditional Irish folk song, certainly. But it is from a very... This didn't even occur to me as like an Irish song. I was talking on the phone to my mom. I think mom and dad, we were talking like Monday or Tuesday. And we were just like listing off various traditional Irish folk songs. I think mom Googled something and came up with Brown Eyed Girl. And then she's like, why is that an Irish folk song? I said, because it's by Van Morrison, who, no matter what you think of his music, whatever ethnicity you think of his music, he's an Irish guy, and you can't deny that. Chloe, good to see you. Thank you for the super chat. Darling, haven't seen Miss Chloe for a long time. Everybody say hi to Chloe. And thank you very much. And this is a song by Van Morrison. Hey, when we go, days when the rains came out in the hollow, playing a new game, laughing and running, hey, hey, skipping and jumping in the mist of morning, four-wheeler, how hearts are thumping, and you, brown-eyed girl, you, my brown-eyed girl. Whatever happened to Tuesday and so slow, going down the old mile with a transistor radio, standing in the sunlight laughing, high behind the rainbow's wall, slipping in a slide, hey, all along waterfall with you, my brown-eyed girl. You, my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember where we used to sing? Sha la 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 da, just like that. Sha la 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 da, da did da. So hard to find my way, now I'm all on my own. Saw you just the other day, you had grown. Cast my memory back there, Lord. Sometimes I'm overcome thinking about it, making love in the green grass, behind the stadium with you, brown-eyed girl. You, my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember where we used to sing? Sha la 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 da. Sha la 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 da. Just like that. Sha la 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 da. La 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 da. Bit by bit by bit by bit by bit by la 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 da. La 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 da. Da did da. All right. Yeah, Christopher Farron, indeed. Crazy that he had. So if you never heard this story, Van Morrison wrote that about a black woman. It was brown-skinned girl, right? Brown-skinned girl. Yeah, that's right. And so like he had to, like, that was too controversial in, what was that, 67? I might have had that written on the page. Yeah, 67 sounds right. It's way too controversial in 67, if you can believe that. On the other hand, we live in an era where it might be considered controversial that any red-haired genes that you got came from interbreeding with Neanderthals. Don't know. Who would that be controversial with? I don't know. Like, check in with people that deny evolution. Maybe that might be. I don't know. It's just presenting the information, not presenting where you would find fault with it. That would be irrelevant. Moving along. This is another Irish folk song. I think the first time that I ever heard this one, and please, again, the theme of tonight, chime in the chat of the first time you heard this particular song, whatever this song is. This next one's called The Long Black Veil. And again, I have trouble pegging down when I heard this first, but it was. Oh man, see, I wanted to say it was in college, but no, I'm sure I had this on Chieftains albums when I was in high school. Anyway, I'm not even sure. First time I heard this live was probably at McGurk's or at a Ren Fair or at an SCA event. I think the first time I heard a recording of this must have been when I was a kid, and it was on a Chieftains album. This is The Long Black Veil, which is also a good ghost story. I think I played it around Halloween. "10 years ago, on a cold dark night, there was someone killed 'neath the town hall light. Just a few at the scene, and they all did agree that the man who ran looked a lot like me. The judge said, 'Son, what's your alibi? You were somewhere else, and you don't have to die.' I spoke not a word, though it meant my life. I had been in the arms of my best friend's wife. She walks these hills in a long black veil. She visits my grave when the night winds wave. Nobody knows, Lord, nobody sees. Nobody knows but me. Well, the scaffold's high and eternity near. She stood in the crowd, shed not a tear. But sometimes at night, when the cold wind mows in a long black veil, she cries all over my bones. She walks these hills in a long black veil. She visits my grave when the night winds wave. Nobody knows, Lord, nobody sees. Nobody knows but me. Nobody knows, Lord, nobody sees. Nobody knows but me. All right, Ruth Sanchez says she recognizes The Long Black Veil at an Irish pub in Galway. Awesome. Okay, Terry Smith updating me with some info that I'm going to have to research soon. Red hair is/was found all over the globe, including Africa, where there were no Neanderthals. It is due to a mutation in the MC1R gene. This question was just on the midterm that I just graded. Terry, please send me source materials for that. Those source materials would necessarily be less than 10 years old broadly. Yeah, teach me more or point me where I can learn more, please. Awesome. Christina, I had never heard this song until I started dating you. All right. Thank you, John. Thank you, Patty, who is liked, shared, and saved. Please follow suit. Oh, man. Okay. The next song I'm going to play is... No, there are no red-haired Sicilians. I do not think that word means what you think it means. Never, damn it, what is it? Never play against a Sicilian in whatever, and then he dies of poison. Right. Okay, so this next song is called She Moved Through the Fair. And I don't remember the first time that I heard this song either. I do recall the first recording that ever really impressed me. And that was by Lorena McKinnett. I think the album was on the Mummers Dance. I could be mistaken about that. And then I heard a lot of other live versions later in life that really did impress me. But yeah, I think, yeah. Thank you, David Benjamin. When death is on the line, or, you know, never bet against a Sicilian with red hair. All right, so let us know in the chat. When's the first time you ever heard this next song, She Moved Through the Fair? My young love said to me, my mother won't mind, and my father won't slight you for your lack of kind. And she stepped away from me, and then she did say, it will not be long, love, till our wedding day. She stepped away from me, and she went through the fair. And finally I watched her move here and move there, and she turned her way homeward with one star awake, as the swan in the evening moves over the lake. never was sad. She smiled as she passed me with her goods and her gear. And that was the last that I saw of my dear. And that was the last that I saw of my dear. Last night she came to me, my true love came in, and she came in so easy. Her feet made no dent, and she laid her hands on me. And this she did say: it will not be long, love, till our wedding day. No, it will not be long, love, till our wedding day. It will not be long, love, till our wedding day. It will not be long, love, till our wedding day. It will not be long, love, until our wedding day. Yeah. Cheers. Have you ever heard that played purely acoustic with no amplification by a very good musician in a forest? That's where you should hear that. All the shoes. Thank you, Ruth Sanchez. So I want to take a quick moment to announce in 2 weeks, 2 weeks from tonight, will be LoveCast number 100. Joining me for LoveCast 100 will be my musical uncle, Joey Delgado. I'm profoundly honored to be joined by Tio Joe. We're going to work up a really special acoustic-based set. We are in the process of now working up an acoustic-based set. I think the first time. No, it's not even the... I'm distracting myself by all the comments in the chat here. T.O. Joe sat in with Hunter and the Dirty Jacks on our, I think it was our third band anniversary at the time. And Terry Smith came along and invented a new dessert on that occasion that she called salt whiskey truffles. And holy shit, were those memorable. I remember those so very clearly. So, Joey Delgado of the Delgado Brothers is going to be joining me as an acoustic duet for LoveCast number 100, happening 2 weeks from now. Stay tuned. Joey Delgado was actually awarded a trophy of a guitar from Gibson, like a guitar worth about like 5 of my cars, as the greatest guitar player in the world. No exaggeration. This was about 5 years ago, I want to say, maybe 6 years ago. So, you know, that actually literally happened. Joey Delgado was given a trophy by Gibson. It's a crazy valuable guitar. Just wait till wait till you hear the guy. This is a real this is musical family. I am just thrilled that this is going to happen. Okay. This next song, I'm gonna speculate that a lot of people watching right now heard The Minstrel Boy for the first time. If you watched Star Trek The Next Generation in the early 90s, they did this awesome episode about racism where Chief O'Brien, he was Chief O'Brien at the time. He's an obviously Irish crewman. Had been tactical officer to a starship captain that sort of went rogue in his racism vengeance, where he's sworn to go out and exterminate the Cardassians well after the war against the Cardassians has been ceased and peace treaties were. And so it gets into this real like Apocalypse Now, Heart of Darkness kind of thing, where this guy is just is just still living in wartime and is just kind of going on killing Cardassians way after they've all been acknowledged as people together. And these Irish guys, as it turns out, can't get over their own racism against Cardassians. And the episode has this really touching moment where the two of them are just kind of sitting in this part of this Irish captain's ship, and they're reconnecting about their days of war against the Cardassians that are now over. And they literally bond by singing an a cappella version of this song. This is The Minstrel Boy, which is an Irish folk song. Not Kardashians, I'm sorry, Cardassians. It would have been so much better if they were killing Kardashians. Jesus. Thank you, Terry. That's my favorite moment of tonight's show. Jesus. father's sword beeth girded on, and his wild house long behind him. Land of song, cried the warrior bard, the world betrays thee. One sword at least thy rights shall guard, one faithful heart shall praise thee. The minstrel fell, but the foeman's chain could not bring his proud soul under. The harp he loved never spoke again, for it tore its chords asunder. It said, no chains shall sully thee, thou soul of love and bravery. Thy songs were meant for the pure and free, they shall never sound in slavery. Land of song, cried the warrior bard, the world betrays thee. One sword at least thy rights shall guard, one faithful heart shall praise thee. Yeah. Honey, is my little spiral-bound notebook in anywhere visually present? Okay. Would you grab it for me? Because it was outside. Because it's got my thank yous on it. And of the last 2 weeks, it might be under music. Thank you for looking. I don't know where I might have put it. This is every Amanda and David off-camera conversation that you've ever heard on Amanda and Demanda or the Panano Man. I guess I had conversations with Wolfgang, like this before, but hell, I don't know. But I really want to thank some people, and maybe the bathroom. I don't know where I might have left it. I don't think I took it in there. I'm just calling out random suggestions here because I got people to thank.
I saw it and it was outside and I just don't know where it is now.
I don't either. All right. Well,
I'll look for it. Keep going.
Clearly, postscript that moment. So, time is it? 6:51. Okay. So, relevant to earlier's bit of... No, I didn't write thank yous on toilet paper. I just might have carried it in the bathroom with me, but I obviously didn't. No, Jeremy, but damn if I don't immediately recognize the thing that you're referring to. So Captain Picard played a piccolo. It actually wasn't a piccolo by definition. Captain Picard played something very similar to an Irish penny whistle on what may be my favorite Star Trek The Next Generation episode of all time. They come across this probe that is designed to help perpetuate the memory of the civilization from whence this probe originated. This society was seeing its own mortality in the face of an oncoming supernova, I believe. And so they launched this probe way out into deep space that would just sort of every now and then just take over the mind of a passerby and give that person an experience as being an individual in their society for an entire lifetime. Now, if you're familiar with Rick and Morty did the exact same thing in a video game called, was it Bob? Honey, what was the name of that video game that they played?
What was it called? I don't remember.
Bob, Paul, Pete? Damn it. Oh, dear.
We've been drinking.
Yes, we have been. It's St. Patrick's Day.
Celebrating.
We've been celebrating.
I can't find that notebook.
I can't either. You know, and now I know. It's definitely not that deep in that pile. Or that one. It's just disappeared. So yeah, in Rick and Morty, it was like you play a lifetime of a Midwestern nobody white guy, and it's like Phil or something, right? And you play the entire lifetime of this guy in a few minutes in a futuristic arcade. Well, the same thing happens to Captain Picard, and he learned how to play some variation of the Irish penny whistle that was not actually a piccolo. And when he came to, it was verified as a real experience in that he, Captain Picard, waking up, could play this instrument that he had no knowledge of or no skill on previous to this experiment. And so, yeah, it was a wonderfully touching validation that the hallucination was not mere hallucination. So, this next song, don't worry about it, honey. Well, it's not worth the distraction. I'll pick it up next week. I know, I did too. It's clearly just in plain view, and we're just missing it. So this next song, and I'm gonna keep the little Taylor here. Oh, Resican flute. Wow. Yeah, I never looked that up. It just looks like an Irish penny whistle. So thank you for looking that up. And just like what I said to Terry Smith, Jeremy, please send me the info that verifies that instrument. I'd love. I want to read the sources. Tell me. Teach me, baby. Make me a wiser man. Okay, so earlier we played a Van Morrison song. Not an Irish folk song, but an undeniably Irish song. And for the same logic, here's a U2 song. When's the first time that you heard With or Without You? See the stone set in your eyes, hear the thorn twist in your side. I'm waiting for you. Sleight of hand and twist of fate on a bed of nails. She makes me wait, and I'm waiting without you, with or without you, with or without you. Through the storm we reach the shore. You give it all, but I want more, and I'm waiting for you. With or without you, with or without you, oh, I can't live. With or without you, and you give yourself Hello, Dari. Thank you. I'm going to thank several folks off the top of my head that I know donated to the virtual tip jar down here in the right-hand corner for the last 2 weeks from 96 and 97. Those weekly regular donors were definitely Nick and Christy Davila, Ed and Susie Marsh. I'm going to wave at Susie. Hi. Ruth Sanchez. Ruth Sanchez, by the way, has a birthday coming up in 2 days. Everybody say hi and happy birthday, happy almost birthday to Ruth Sanchez. Emily Thatcher, for damn sure. I've got a regular anonymous donor. I will say thank you to anonymously. And let me think. Is there anybody else that I know threw in? Charity Swanson. Definitely Charity Swanson. Thank you very much, darling. All right. If there's anybody that the record shows that I overlooked, I will come back to in some subsequent time. So I think we're going to finish tonight. I've never done an a cappella song before. I think that's where we'll conclude this evening. I can put together logically the first time and place that I heard this song. But like examples of Shakespeare and Dr. Seuss, this song has just always existed in my world. But when I was a very little kid, Mom and I used to watch MASH reruns together late at night. Late at night, you know, when we were all still when we should have been asleep. On this episode of MASH, for some reason, I think there was like a talent show or something like that. Somebody got up and sang like a traditional Irish folk song. Now, I've heard the song a million times since. But this song, this song is called Alive, Alive, Oh. And happy St. Jameson Day to anybody drinking with me. We're going to go out with Alive, Alive, Oh. Christina asked me just this afternoon if this particular song was why the tavern, pub, music venue in Hollywood, Molly Malone's, is called what it is called. And I said, without having to research or look that up, yeah, definitely. In Dublin's fair city, where the ladies are pretty, 'twas there that I first met sweet Molly Malone. She wheeled a wheelbarrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh. crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. She was a fishmonger, sure 'twas no wonder, for so were her father and mother before. They each wheeled their barrows through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. Alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. She died of a fever and no one could save her. That was the end of sweet Molly Malone. Now her ghost wheels her barrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. Alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for LoveCast 98. Drop something into the virtual tip jar if you are so inclined. And, yeah. Have a lovely St. Patrick's Day. Stay safe wherever that is, whatever that is doing. I'm so dearly glad you could join us. One more time, a plug for 2 weeks from tonight. Join us for LoveCast 100 when Joey Delgado of the Delgado Brothers is going to be joining me for an acoustic duet. I am thrilled and honored to be setting up a duet with this man. He is incredible. With that, I will cut it off. Oh, but I'll say, join us for a Polly's online variety show tomorrow night, Friday. And the theme is feel-good music, right? Feel-good music. I believe that's it. Feel-good music. And Christina had to put a very compelling argument toward me as to why Comfortably Numb is not, by definition, feel-good music, and she came up with a better idea instead. So we're going to do her idea. And I will see you all tomorrow night for Polly's online variety show. Thank you. I love you. Good night.